Okay. All right, there we go again. Remember, this lesson is about the earliest explorers, things people normally don't cover. And we talk about who, where, which is where they came from, where they went to, why they went there, because they all three went for different reasons. Right.
Yes, sir.
And when they did it. Now the first group are the Vikings. They're finding more and more stuff in Newfoundland, which is in Canada. I showed you guys on the map, the orange part on the map. More and more Viking settlements that they never knew were there. Okay. How do they find them? Believe it or not, satellites. When satellites are so good now, they take pictures, they can see indentations, they can see how mounds used to be. Well, no, but they, like on the land, say if this is the land right here, we're walking around up this hill, over this hill all the time, right? Well, the satellite looks down and they say, hey, there's no way in the world that's natural. That's a perfectly round hill. Nature doesn't make perfectly round stuff. So they go in and explore that area. They can see where in one area of a forest, the trees may be a little bit different. They may be 100 years younger than the other trees, which tells them somebody went in there and probably cut down those trees to use them. Then the archaeologists go in and find out why. Now, mahogany. You had the Vikings, right? Tell me what you know about the Vikings. Mahogany made this for us. Tell me what you know about the Vikings.
The Greenland is in there, and the boat is on top of the blue stuff.
And the blue stuff is what?
The water.
Water. Now, Leif Erikson, right?
Yeah.
Now, how did he get his name? Remember we talked about last names?
I forgot.
Anybody remember we talked about last names? How Erikson got his last name? How Monet got her last name?
But their ancestors.
He was son of Eric.
Yeah.
So his last name, instead of saying Leif, son of Eric, they call him Leif Erikson. And that went on through history. Miss Thompson's last name means the son of Thomas, because in English, Thomas spelled T-H-O-M. It's saying in Spanish, Tomas, T-H-O-M-A-S, right? It's pronounced Thomas, Tomas. See, last names are fairly new. That's why if you look and read the Bible, it doesn't matter what old book you read. Plato, what was Plato's last name? He didn't have one. Before you go back in history. Remember what I said about Miss Cook? Where her last name probably came from? Where?
From a cook.
Somebody in her family was a cook. Simple as that. But the Vikings were one of the first people to actually do that. Instead of saying like Eric the Red, which was Leif's dad, and saying Leif, son of Eric, they just added the Erikson on the end of it. Now for the Vikings, what influences do they still have that we can see today in America? That's 1,000 years ago. Remember? What's that? What football team? What's football team name? We have a football team named the Vikings. We talked about that yesterday.
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Why? Because if you look on the map, the Vikings came from where?
Minnesota.
Well, that's where they ended up. Their descendants did, not the actual Vikings. Where? There you go, Norway. Norway and Denmark, they came. Their descendants traveled across and settled in Wisconsin and Minnesota. If you still go there, a lot of those folks still have names, Norwegian names. So they still influence. They influence our Navy. What kind of boats? You remember what the boat's called? What kind of boat's that? And what's it good for?
It's good for its ride.
For its ride, smooth ride.
Mhm.
It's fast, right? Can you carry a lot of cargo on that?
No.
No, you can't.
It's gonna sink.
It's going to sink. You're going to overload it. That was their raiding boats, and they were also the first navy in the world. Well, they had cargo boats like the Mayflower.
Mhm.
They're the first navy to surround them with those fast boats to protect them. And we'll talk about the Spanish in a minute. And the Spanish Armada actually learned that from the Vikings. Our Navy still teaches tactics that the Vikings used 1,000 years ago. So everything that happens influences us. Everything we do today is going to influence someone else down the road. Any more facts about the Vikings before we move on? Okay. What's the next one? What do you have?
English colonists.
English colonists. Which one?
The ones that came around in 1620 AD.
Okay. Why?
They wanted free religious beliefs. They wanted to have free religious beliefs away from King James.
Okay, there you go. King James was the king of England. And the English had their own religion. Well, these folks were called Puritans. They wanted to practice what they believed, and the king said no. So they went to Holland first, back to England, and what ship did they sail over here?
Mayflower.
The Mayflower. Mayflower is a big ship, it was a slow ship. The Vikings used these fast longboats. The Mayflower was big, heavy cargo ship.
They're like pirate boats.
What, the Mayflower?
Yeah.
They're close. They carried a lot of people. Remember how many came over on the Mayflower? 102. Now, a couple of days ago we talked about there's supposed to be 2 ships. Anybody remember the name of the second ship? I know you got it wrote down on your board.
Plymouth?
Hmm?
The Plymouth?
No, they went to Plymouth. It's a Speedwell. Sprung a leak. So they had to turn around and go back. So they ended up overloading the Mayflower. And then they headed west. That's not a good idea. Give you an idea of the time, they left in September, England in September.
Came back in like
Well, they landed in Massachusetts at Plymouth Rock in November, 2 months. Back in September, my wife got on an airplane in Charlotte, North Carolina. I think the plane left at 8 o'clock in the morning. She landed in London that evening. And that included a stopover in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. So what used to take 2 months now takes 6 hours. Could you imagine being stuck on a ship like that, a small ship, for 2 months with
I'd
102
say kill
people?
me now, because I wouldn't never make it. I'd be scared, frantic, everything.
Depends on why you wanted to go. Right. It was too crowded.
Did they even do boat travel?
Yeah. They still do boat travel. Yes, they still do boat travel. You can still take cruises from New York to Europe.
Weren't there also 2 babies on the boat also? One had died or something?
Yet there's one born at sea, and right after they landed in the middle of winter, so they had to live on the boats.
Yeah.
Once they landed, they had to stay on the boats.
And I think there was a disease or something on
Yeah,
the boat.
they had the second child that was born after they actually docked, because
Yeah.
everyone was cramped up. They lost a lot of people, and one of them was a newborn baby. But the one that was actually born at sea lived.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Two were born before they were able to get a colony down.
And the mom died too. There was another thing that died.
You know, over half the people died
Yeah.
of the original colony.
Yeah.
Right, because they're so close quartered.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Puritans, what else do they do? We talked about it this morning.
They started with the Mayflower
Yeah, say it. You're on the right track. Compact.
how do you guys do?
Compact.
They they started, what, started our government kind of.
Exactly. That's what they have that we still enjoy today. The Mayflower Compact, when they landed, they realized with them over here, more people coming, they need some form of government to set standards. So they signed the Mayflower Compact. That was the first legal document and the first form, you guys listen up, you get that later. And the first formal form of government in North America with anyone. And a lot of states that were developed after that were based off of the Mayflower Compact. It's very simple. This is what you do, this is what you can't do. They elected the government, laid out people that are going to elect them, how long they're going to be elected for. So what's the other one? You mentioned the reason they left. Why is that important?
Because when they left, they wanted different religions, which means today it was kind of the founding of all the different religions.
Right, they were Puritans. They left over here, everyone says, well, they left over for freedom of religion, but they left over here to freely practice their own religion. Remember? Okay, so when they came over here, Massachusetts and Connecticut were really heavily influenced by the Puritans and the Baptists. But what colony was set up off of them, we talked about that, one state was set up so everyone could freely practice whatever religion they wanted to. You remember that? It's right next to Massachusetts. No. Rhode Island. The oldest Jewish synagogue is in Rhode Island. Now you said you're a Catholic. Remember what state was set up by the Catholics so they could practice their religion? You're close. Right above Maryland. Right above. It says the name. Right above Virginia. Rebecca, you okay? Marissa, you okay? You can join in with the rest of them.
Above what?
What state's right above Virginia that was set up that the Catholics had their, what they call a charter for? You work out with it. Yeah, you can get a look at the map.
Can I do my done? Continue on here? So I'm not taking these classes?
Oh, right now, you joining this when you did the study house. Say that. Hey guys, listen up. This is what she's saying, Maryland. Okay. Now, Marissa, your turn. What? You want to say something? You want to add to it? It's okay. I said the last name. That's why I want to point out where Monet's last name came from. I didn't say her last name. That's okay. You keep me honest. That's good though. Better be too careful than too loose, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Maritza. Moving down south. Right. What about the Spanish conquistadors? That's okay. You got the knowledge.
They dig for gold.
There you go. They dug for gold.
They came from Spain.
They came from Spain.
They spoke Spanish.
The reason they came over, when they just said the reason they came over was for gold.
They introduced the horses and nations.
There you go. There's no horses in here. In the entire continent, north to south, America. The Spanish brought them over. Remember the name of the specific horse they used? Yeah. Andalusians. There you go. Big, pretty horses. Now, one thing that happened, because they killed a lot of people, they wiped out entire civilizations. Now, they used the horse to enslave them. You know how? Well, if you ever see a horse, I'm going to try to find a video play for you on the Andalusians. They look like they're dancing. Yeah, the horses. Beautiful horses. We call it dressage. The horses can walk sideways and bounce around.
On the walls and stuff.
on walls, they
Okay.
jump. And what happened was, with the uniforms that they wore at a distance, the Aztecs and the other Indian tribes would see them coming and think it's some mystical creature. They couldn't tell that it was a man sitting on top of a horse. They'd never seen a horse before. And they would run up, yes, exactly, they thought it was a centaur. That's exactly word they used. And they could run up and make the horses go sideways and back up and do all sorts of maneuvers. And first of all, these people never seen a horse. Secondly, you have these powerful men that they thought was actually part of the horse. They thought it was a man-horse combination. Now, would that scare you, Miss Dave? That wouldn't scare you?
I'm not necessarily just said, all I heard was a horse and it had
Yeah. They thought the man and the horse were one animal combined.
You know when you see Narnia?
Mm-hmm.
They had like one of the plants and
Yep.
the kids, they got scared and ran.
Yep, you're right. It's in the book of Narnia.
Yeah.
They have that.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
I'm not scared because I'm used to it, I guess.
Exactly. You used to it. Right.
There's my brother.
Now, why did the Spanish think there's gold all over the place over here?
because they heard stories about it.
For who?
There are people back in the
Who do we celebrate that we thought actually discovered America?
Christopher Columbus. Oh yeah.
Okay, Christopher Columbus. He's Italian though, right?
Yeah.
So Colombo parlavo Italiano. Since Christopher Columbus was Italian, why did the Spanish come over? Anybody remember that?
I thought there was gold and they found gold in California.
That was later. Actually, the first gold mine in America is about 50 miles north of here in Ashburn, North Carolina.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm. But why did the Spanish find out about the gold and the Italians didn't? Because the Italian government thought Columbus was crazy. They thought the world was flat. And they weren't going to spend money for Columbus to take ships and run off the edge of the world. The Spanish royalty, the king and queen, is actually who hired Columbus on those 3 ships. Right. The 3 ships he brought over belonged to Spain, not Italy. And he landed in that area. So when he went back, his crew, being sailors, and I know something about sailors telling stories, since I was one, they told all these stories about all this gold they saw, cities made out of nothing but gold, streets paved with gold. They embellished all these stories about all these riches they found. So the Spanish, well, they're sailors, they brag. Okay? That's what sailors do. So the Spanish crew, most of Columbus' crews, even though he's Italian, were Spanish. So when they got back to port, they started telling all these stories. And after a while, the other Spanish sailors and the conquistadors, which is